Hello everyone and welcome to episode 14 of the Dunkelgrün podcast. This is a podcast mainly about knitting, but occasionally also other textile crafts and fiber arts like dyeing or sewing or whatever is up in my life. My name is Anna and you can find me on Ravelry and on Instagram as dunkelgrün. You can find the link to these social media places and also to the show notes in the video description below the video. Today is Sunday the 15th of October and it is about 2 weeks since my last episode, so I thought it's time to tune in again and let you know what's been happening in my life. So those of you who have been watching previously know that I have a little bit more than a month ago I have started my new job. And I have realized that I have less and less time for podcasting, and this is really sad. And I just work full days, and in the evening there is no time for podcasting, and on the weekends I have lots of other plans. So I think going forward from now I will have monthly podcast episodes coming out. So this here is the episode of the month of October 2017. And I have a lot of stuff to show you. First of all, we have a cute little finished project. We have some knitting projects in progress, and I have some stuff to show you that I purchased at the yarn festival Berlin Knits, which I attended 2 weeks ago, and I would like to chat a little bit about how it was, about my experience of Berlin Knits. So also I wanted to mention that we have a Ravelry group and there are currently 2 knit-alongs going on. One is for the Etc. socks, which I will show a picture here of these socks. This is a pattern by Vera course, and if you're interested in knitting these socks, join us. We have a KAL going on and there are lots of fun prizes to win and a lot of inspiration. And the second KAL, which is already going on very well, is the self-dyedKAL, and this is co-hosted by the lovely Marina from Marina Toys and the Strawberry Patches podcast and myself, and we have a Ravelry thread for this KAL, and the goal is that everyone dyes their own yarn and knits something out of it. And we have quite a large time frame for this KAL. It is going all the way to January 31st of next year. So plenty of time, and if there is not enough time we might even extend the deadline. And there's already a lot of people joining in and a lot of inspiration. Many beautiful hand-dyed yarns are coming up and people are sharing tips and tricks, and so it's a wonderful opportunity for those of you who are new to dyeing or would like to give it a shot, and also for those of you who are already experienced dyers to show off your beautiful hand-dyed yarns. That's it for administration stuff, and we are ready to jump right into knitting. I have a cute little finished project for you this week, and it is my unicorn. Finally, Unini, the unicorn, is finished. A huge thank you from me and Unini to all the lovely test knitters who are doing a wonderful job test knitting this pattern. And it looks like we are soon ready to publish. Actually, there are just a few last changes to the pattern to be done and the final design, and then Unini will be published. So this is knit out of DK weight yarn. I have shown him off a little bit before, and the yarn is dyed by myself for this particular prototype, but you could use any type of DK weight yarn, and some of the test knitters have also used fingering weight yarn and it works just fine. And it is all knit. The body is knit in one piece and then the legs and ears are attached later, and he is just really cute. I like that he has a more childish face compared to a lot of other unicorns that have a bit more of a comic-y look. He looks a bit more like a little baby horse, so to say, and he is a little bit round and chubby, so I think he's really gorgeous for little children to play with, and also big children like me. What else was there to say about this? Oh yeah, some people have asked me if I'm going to release yarn together with the pattern, and I think I will do that. I just don't know yet when, but I would like to release little kits with the yarns that you need and the main rainbow mane that you need to create this stuffy. And I will also probably give a couple of color options, not just the blue. So this is Unini and the pattern is coming out soon, and I'm already very looking forward to seeing all the versions that you guys are going to create. This episode I have 3 knitting projects in progress for you guys. So the first work in progress is a pair of socks which I cast on for Berlin Knits because I needed a small portable knitting project to knit while I was there and on the trip there. So this is my pair of socks. I showed the yarn last time. It's my own hand-dyed yarn in this neon green yarn with black speckles. I am knitting these for the boyfriend of my sister who has huge feet. I think it's a 46 European size, which is probably a size 12 in the US. I'm not really sure. But he has gigantic feet and I am not yet at the heel. It looks like I should be at the heel soon, but unfortunately I am not. I still have to knit on. And yeah, as you can see, I am using the 2 at a time knitting technique in the magic loop, and I am using both ends of this ball of yarn, which I find a little bit fiddly. I know there is a button trick, which I am not doing. I'm just pulling both ends out of the yarn, and I find that little, yeah, they get tangled sometimes. I need to take care in which direction I turn and everything. But still, I need to do this 2 at a time because these gigantic socks, if I finish one of those, I will never want to make another one. That's why I have to do this 2 at a time so that they will get finished. And you might notice something new here. This red cable, you have not seen this on my podcast before, even though it is very famous. These are Jiaogu needles, which I bought at Berlin Knits. And I am usually a 100% wooden needle girl. I have tried metal needles before, including Hayas, and they are too slippery for me. I am a very loose knitter, and if I knit with metal needles, my gauge gets too loose and my stitches fall off the needles, and it's just no fun. I would need to go down so many needle sizes. I think socks would not even be possible for me because you cannot go so low. And then Caitlin of the Wooljewel podcast, hi Caitlin, she told me that the Jiaogus are a little bit more grippy than other metal needles, and so I thought I'll give them a try. And so far I'm really enjoying it. It is still a little bit weird to knit with metal needles, but it's working out. You can see my gauge is not too weird. It's normal sock knitting gauge, and I love how these guys move through the stitches. There is no snagging or nothing at all. It's really nice. The only thing I did, I bought a much too big cable because I thought 2 at a time I will need a big cable. This is 120 centimeters and it is way too big. I should have gotten the 100 centimeter one or even the 80 centimeter one, but anyways, I bought these in order to try how I like the Jiaogu metal needles, and there might be some more in the future in my life. And my next work in progress is my Malabrigo sweater. This is the pattern is the Fall Flowers by Vera Sanon, which was originally released as a mystery knit along, and it's knitted top down with a very interesting satin sleeve construction from the top down. So you are working some short rows here at the top and then picking up stitches for the sleeves, and then you do something similar to a raglan down here, but it's not really the raglan shape. It's a satin sleeve shoulder shape. And yeah, I have finished the first sleeve, huge achievement, and now I have just started the second sleeve, and I hope to be done with this soon. The yarn is Malabrigo Arroyo in the colorway Pocion. This is sold as a sport weight yarn, but it actually feels a little more like DK, but it comes with 300 meters in 100 grams. This is the yarn, the Malabrigo Arroyo, and I love this colorway so much. But it's interesting that there is really a huge color variation from one skein to the next. So this is something to keep in mind if you want to knit a sweater out of it, because you really need to alternate skeins. At the bottom of the body of the sweater, I have added some short rows on the back side, just like I like to do this for my sweaters, to make the back a little bit longer than the front. And when I was doing that, I made a little mess. I don't know what happened, but I created a hole here. And I didn't want to go back because I noticed it a little bit too late. I was probably tired. And then I was thinking, what should I do? Just sew this hole up, or I don't know, I should sew something on top of it, or I don't know. So I decided I need to have some labels, because this would be the perfect position to put a little label on the sweater. And then I went to search and I found this Etsy shop which makes custom leather engraved labels, and this is it. This is my logo on a wonderful leather label, and it is from an Etsy shop in Bulgaria. They are called Leather Goods Company. I'm gonna link them in the show notes, and I was really happy with their service. It was super fast and it is exactly how I imagined it, and I got, I think, 25 pieces for a really good price and really fast, and so very highly recommend this shop if you're interested to have your own labels. They have various sizes, also larger ones, rectangles instead of squares, and you can send them your file and they are going to engrave it on the leather. That's really cool. So this is going to happen here with the hole. I am going to put this leather tag over it and everything is gonna be fine. Last but not least, I have another little work in progress, and this is another Baa-ble hat. This is the third Baa-ble hat that I am knitting. It is a pattern by Donna Smith, which was released for the Shetland Wool Week 2015. I don't know if the colors are right. The sun is coming out and now my settings seem to not make sense anymore. I hope you can still get the idea. This yarn is Shetland, Jamieson's Shetland Heather in the Aran weight, and it is just a lovely rustic yarn, but it is not too scratchy. I find it rather soft actually, but I have to admit that I got much less sensitive to rougher wools recently, and I think for someone who has sensitive skin this might be too scratchy. But I love this yarn, and I think for this hat there is no better yarn than that. I'm making the third one and I'm using the third time I'm using the same yarn. So the green, if you are wondering which colorway that is, you will not find this colorway from Jamieson's because I dyed it myself. This hat is for my mom, and she wanted to have some more saturated colors, like a bit darker, but still not too, like, I don't know, she had a very particular idea of color, I cannot describe it, and there was none of these colorways available online, so I dyed it. And I also dyed the blue for the top. They are a bit saturated, but not too screaming, if you know what I mean. So that's gonna be my third Baa-ble hat, and I might be able to finish it today, because these hats, they knit up super quickly, really, and it's so much fun to do the color work, especially now that I'm able to do it with both hands. I really enjoy doing the color work. And now it gets really bright. I hope it's not blowing out too much. I think it's gonna be fine. So that was it with knitting in progress. And finally, I would like to chat a little bit about Berlin Knits. So 2 weeks ago, I flew to Berlin together with my friend to attend Berlin Knits, and it was so much fun. I was so happy to be there and meet so many lovely people. Thank you to everybody who came up to me and said hello. I was really surprised how many people recognized me. It was a bit weird because I'm not used to this feeling, but I was very happy to meet so many lovely like-minded people and to see also the faces behind those usernames that we know from our online community. So that was really special. Thank you to everybody who made this weekend so special. Especially I want to thank Caitlin who from the Wooljewel podcast, who I have spent quite a bit of the weekend with, and it was just so much fun. It looked like we had known each other already for much longer than we did, so I really enjoyed being with you, Caitlin, and I hope that we meet again soon. Also, I want to mention Amanitaa or Agatha, who was just so lovely. She came up to us and said hello, and it was so lovely to meet you in person. And Amanitaa, I am wearing your Love's Promise cardigan today in this episode. So this is a cardigan designed by the lovely Amanitaa. I cannot pronounce her last name, that's why I'm not gonna do it, because she's from Poland and Polish is hard to pronounce for non-Polish speakers. So this is a fingering weight cardigan. It has a lovely little detail here at the sleeves. They are 3/4 lengths, and here under the arm there is a lovely little lace detail. It's a bit like a featherweight with a little bit of lace, I would say, this cardigan. And I have added this button. This is originally not in the pattern because I like it when it keeps a little bit in place. So it's still like an open cardigan, but it keeps in place. So this is a pattern by the lovely Amanitaa, who I got to meet in Berlin. And then also I met the lovely Valentina from Snail Yarns, who is just an amazing dyer. You should absolutely check out her Instagram and her shop, because she has such a great sense for subtle, gentle colors that are pleasing to the eye and that are easy to wear. I really like her aesthetics, and I bought something from her, and this is a project bag. This is not from Valentina herself, but it's from her friend, also from Italy. I didn't say that. Valentina Snail Yarns is from Italy, and it is just a really cool fabric. I really like this design. I think I was all about yellow these days, and so I really like those yellow dandelions. And here's the button by Snail Yarns, and a cute little zipper pull which can act as a progress keeper. And inside there is pink fabric, which is probably a bit unusual for me because I usually don't do pink, but I think this combination is really lovely and I like this project bag. Then I have met another wonderful, gorgeous, creative person in Berlin, and this is Martina from Dark Hair Knits and LAMIprojects. And Martina has really spoiled me and also you guys, because she has given me some of her samples, some of her wonderful indigo dyed project bags. So you have already seen my project bag from her, which is this wonderful indigo blue fabric combined with canvas. And the story of this fabric is that it is dyed with indigo in a traditional Slovak way in Slovakia. And they use a kind of a pulp from plants to draw those patterns on the fabric, and this acts as a resist, similar to batik, or actually it is kind of a batik, but the European version of it. And then they dip this fabric into indigo to get these wonderful shades of dark blue. And Martina gave me a lot of different little project bags. This is one perfect for a little sock project that you can put on your arm like this, and you can knit from it. Whoops, now I lost the tag. So this is the tag by Martina, but she is doing these project bags together with her friend, and they are called LAMIprojects together, so I will link to their Etsy shop. There is also a little DPN needle roll for storing needles. there is a teeny tiny little pouch which you could use to knit like just one sock, or even just as a notions pouch, just a tiny little baggie. Finally, there is also a large project bag with a drawstring, and here is the logo by LAMIprojects. I am so thankful, Martina, that you gave me all these bags. I'm just speechless with all these wonderful bags. And of course, I will not keep them all to myself, even though I would like to, but these are going to be giveaway prizes for the podcast, for when we have a subscriber milestone or knit-alongs. And yeah, I am very happy to share this wonderful stuff with you guys. And actually, just yesterday, the new Etsy shop of these two lovely ladies has been launched, and you can shop those bags from them. I really recommend that you go and check them out, because this fabric is something really special with this traditional Slovak indigo dye method. And if you like indigo and you like project bags, that's the thing for you. Finally, I also have a little acquisition from Berlin Knits, and you're going to ask, where's the yarn? Didn't you buy anything? Yes, I did buy something. I bought this lovely single merino yarn from Hand Dyed Berlin. So this is the one that I spotted first. It is such an amazing taupe, grayish, brownish color that I immediately fell in love with, and I wanted to have it. And then I got also a second one. These are the first two that I got, and to go with these I have two more colors. Yay! A wonderful caramelly brown with some black speckles, and this awesome honey mustard yellow color. So these guys are probably going to be a sweater, maybe also a really large shawl, but I think sweater. I just don't know yet what. I will probably either I will have to look a little bit further, or I will come up with something myself. And these are single merino yarns, which is maybe not that good for a sweater, but I have never done it before and I will give it a try anyways. So this is it already for this week. Unini and I say goodbye now, and we thank you all for watching and hope that you have a wonderful time. If you want to reach me, you can always send me a message on Instagram or on Ravelry, and the next video will probably be coming out in November. So until then, I wish you all a wonderful time. I hope you are enjoying the fall, and happy knitting! Bye!